at edit mode. So let's see what we're going to be looking at this lessons. Objects edit mode, understanding vertices, edges and faces, mesh, and then I'm going to show you some selection tools, and then also show you a little bit about the 3D cursor, how to change 3D cursor position and why we do this, change the object's origin and pivot points. Okay, so let's have a look at that. So I have here a cube and a UV sphere. In order to get, so last lesson what you did is to put objects together to create an environment, primitive objects. And this one, the edit mode, will allow you to change the shape of objects. So in order to get to edit mode, you can go up here on the left, object mode, it says you can go to edit mode, right? The other way you can do that, press the tab key, okay? Tab key, select the object and then press tab key and you are in edit mode. And then next to it you have a selection of the three things, the main things that form an object, which are the vertices. So the vertices are the points that form this object, and the points they show, if you want to know where the position of each point is in space, you can look at it and here press N for November, N key, or this little arrow here on the top, yeah, and then you see the position of this the points in space, right? So we look at this. Right. Anyway, then you have the edges. So the edges are, so you need vertices to form edges. So in this case, this vertex is shared, has three edges, right? So you can select edges, and for each of them you can actually also apply all the transform tools, which I'll show in a minute. And then we have the faces. So it's the third one here, faces. Okay. So faces are, in this case, is a quadrangular face. Yeah, because it's formed of 4 different edges. If it was 3 edges, would be a triangle, and so on. But we keep quads in your mind because we're going to be using quite a lot of quads. Okay, later on. So what can you do with this? So the same way you did it with the objects, but now you can select the shape. So you press G, so I select those 2 vertices. Mind you, to select, there's just one more thing before we carry on. If I'm here, in this position here, and I want to select all the vertices, so I'm there with selected vertex. So just let me do the one thing here, okay. And if I do this, and I'm thinking that I'm selecting the vertices at the back, and then I go and look at it, I only select the ones at the front, okay. So let's say I want to select all this, yeah, and then when I look at it, I didn't select the one at the back. So how can I select this? So you have different ways of seeing this. So you have the solid mode, which we are now. We have the what's it called, this one? The viewport shading. So the shaded mode, in the case when we have materials applied to it, you would see the materials, we don't. Yeah, and this one is the one which includes the lighting. And we have also the wireframe mode. So in the wireframe mode, you can see everything. So if you select that, then you can see, if you want to select the front and the back, you need to be either on wireframe mode, and another mode that I like as well using is the X-ray. Let's have a look if I can see this. Say X-ray mode. So I am in the solid mode, but if you want to keep it seen a bit solid, by like translucent, and then add the X-ray view, so that means you can see all the geometry that is at the back. So if I want to select those vertices at the back, I use the X-ray. Okay, the same as if I press tab key now and go to my sphere, yeah, and if I don't turn it on and I select that, when I look at it, I only select half of it. So if I turn on my X-ray, means I select everything. Okay, so keep that in mind, it's very important. So what can I do with that? Let's tab here again. On edit mode, I can change the shape of this object the same way. I can press G, or I can use my gizmo here. I can select the edge, yeah, so I can change the shape, right? By this way, I can select a face and I can scale that face perhaps, yeah. So something, yeah, something like that. The same way, I'm going to, so when you finish, you can press edit and then you're back to object mode, go to the sphere and then tab again. And then you are now in the sphere edit mode. And you can do the same thing. Let's just do one thing here. So let's say I'm going to select vertex. So seeing the sphere here, you have one vertex only, right? So actually you have a few triangles here at the top. Yeah, we'll see that later on, how to change this to quads, because we normally want quads for when we are modeling things. Okay, so now if I select that, I can press G. Of course, because there's only one single vertex, so I can't actually scale the vertex because there's only one single vertex. If I'm selecting edge here, then I can scale, right? But it's because there's only a vertex there, I can only move. So G, and I move. Let's just move that up, right? And then I have a new shape. So I go back to object mode, and that is my new shape. Okay. So the other things I can do, I can come here in my orthographic view, and I remember I turn on my X-ray if I want to select the back vertices, for example. So I'm gonna move this up. So I'm gonna select those guys here, and I move them up. And then I select those ones, maybe that, and I scale perhaps, scale this, select those, scale that. So let's make some kind of a drop shape. G and scale. Yeah, so you can do anything you like. Okay, so I have a little drop. If you want to see it like that. Okay, so this is my drop. Let me just, this is annoying me, that shape there, so I'm just going to delete for now. Okay, so I have here a different shape. I could come and just play around with it. Yeah, I'm going to select my my face, and I press G, and I can move that face. The one thing I want to show, remember the way you move the same way we did the object mode, what kind of direction you're moving based on the axis. If it's a global position, yeah, so I look at this, I'm not actually using the normal of this face, I'm just using the object position. So it's not really what I want that to move that way. So I want to move along the normal, yeah, where this direction, the direction of this face is pointing. So I'm going to my local one. So I select that, and then now I still can't move for some reason. Of course, sorry, because I'm now in object mode, I am in edit mode, so I can press just normal. Yes, and now if I want to move, I can move that in normal, right? So I can do this, and I can, yeah, do that kind of stuff. Right, okay. So as well is that tool here at the top, I think it's called the proportional, forgot the name, for proportional, I will show you what it does, forgot the name now. So anyway, so let's say to do the same thing as this similar shape as this one that we did by hand, one by one. So there's one thing that you can use that tool. Proportional editing is called, proportional edit mode. There you go. So as I say, I select the same vertex at the top, yeah, and I press G, yeah. So when I press G and I press Z because I'm going up, right, you see that circle around. So that means this is the area that is gonna be affected by me moving that point, right? So I can do that, right? So you can, there are many ways you can use that. Sorry, I've been adapting my Wacom. I have to change the way it behaves for every software, so it's a bit annoying sometimes. I get confused. So it's completely different shape, but you can try all sorts of different things here. So let's just undo. There you go. So let's try a different one. The sphere. Okay. So I press G and press Z because I just want to move in Z. Yeah. And then I can change that. Let's have a look. G and Z. Okay, so that's my new shape. Right, so have a go at that, testing that as well. So you have all sorts of different ways of connecting, deforming, using the amount of the area that is affecting the object. Okay. Okay, so I just turn off for now. In fact, let's just do a new one. Just create another one. We'll go to object mode and create a new, add a new sphere. Put it there. And let's go to object mode and select that vertex there. And I'm gonna use the smooth one. Or maybe shall I do the sharp one? And then I press G and Z. There you go. So I made a much smoother, you know, drop shape. Is a lot more natural. Yeah. So there you go. If you compare both now, of course, I still could do manually the same. I could manually try to get the same shape, but this is a lot more, it's a lot faster to do this way, right? Okay, so let's just have a look at the selection tools now. So I have all these shapes here, and I'm going to my edit mode in this one. So edit mode, tab key. And let's say if I want to select all the faces, the edges, for example, around this drop. So I can go like press shift and go one the next to the other. That would be very time consuming and it's just not it's not efficient. So let's go, think about this as a loop. So if I want to select the whole loop, I just can go and that can be used for anything, for vertices, for edges and faces. So I'm going to edges and I go on the top of an edge and press the Alt key and select. So I selected the entire loop. If I want to select another loop, so I just press Shift key and then Alt key and I keep going, right? And I can select the loops. So you're always going to select the loop that's continuous, yeah, until you have, you find a quad face. So if I'm going to select those edges at the top, vertically, so I can go here and select, yeah, it was not going to select the whole thing because the edge ends here, right? Because there's the three, it's not sharing the same edge with the next one, with the other side, right? So what all you need to do is to come on the other side here Oh dear, there you go. And then Alt key, and let's say select that one. Oh, I press Shift. Yeah. So that's the other thing. Once you select an edge, Shift, then you can also again do the same thing. Mind you, I am now using that proportional editing thing, as you can see in the circle. So let me just do that. Yeah, so I can turn off. Let's see how it works with the other one. So let's press tab in this one and press tab here and Alt. I turn off the proportional scaling, and then you see it's completely different. It's only affecting those edges. It's not affecting all the other faces around within the area. So yeah, there you go. So the other thing I want to show you, so what Blender can do in terms of, let's say if I want to select an area, I think I press Control. Let's see. I want to select kind of here, and I want to go and select here, here, go down here, down there. I could do this, you know, go one by one. But Blender has a selection way that it chooses the shortest selection. So I can click that one, let's say that one, that edge, and then I come down here and select another edge with press Shift and press Control, and it selects all the faces between here and here. All the faces, yeah. Blender can choose the shortest selection. So you select that edge and you want to select another edge down here. Blender will choose the shortest selection until to get there. So you press that one and press Control, that one. Blender find the shortest path and select those edges. So I can also, you know, change those, you know, I can do whatever I want with them as well. So I can select those edges depending what you want to do, right? So we have that. So just to do it again, like select the edge, press Control, and select another edge down here, and then it did that. Yeah, it selects the shortest path, and then you can carry on. Maybe that one, and then that one, and so on. Okay, so that's another way of selecting. Again, you can do command. The other one is you can, if you press, so let's say I want to select all the edges that are horizontal, but down this line here. So I can press Alt and Control together, and then I press, I select the edge. See, I selected all those edges going down. So I press Shift. If I press Shift, Alt, and Control, I can select another one, and so on. So very important, these things as well. Okay. Okay, so the other way to select things is you can select, there's one thing that I would like to show you. You can Alt select those edges. Let's select the edges. Alt select those edges, and then you can come here and select and checker deselect. Then it will deselect every other edge, right? And again, the same thing with faces. So you come here, and then you come here, select, edge, deselect, and then it deselects every other face. Okay, so I think it's it for selection tools for now.